Dear seeker, have you ever paused to ask yourself why the pull of desire feels so unshakable, almost like a secret current flowing beneath every thought and action? At times, this force appears as a longing for pleasure, beauty, or closeness with another. At other times, it whispers through creativity, art, music, or the silent yearning for something greater than the ordinary. Babaji once reminded his disciples that within each being there flows a river, invisible to the eye, yet mighty enough to carry a soul toward bondage or liberation. This river is the energy of desire, and its sacred dwelling place in the human body is the Swadhisthana Chakra. Just as water can both nurture life and sweep away entire lands, so too can desire raise the spirit into divine union or drown it in endless craving. This is the mystery that every seeker must face. Is desire to be feared, or is it the very key to transcendence? When we misunderstand it, desire enslaves. When we awaken to its essence, desire transforms into the purest longing, the call of the soul to return home. In truth, desire is never truly for the fleeting world. Behind every attraction, behind every hunger of body or mind, there shines the original longing, the eternal thirst for God. Babaji teaches that the secret is not to kill desire, nor to flee from it, but to transform it, to raise the waters upward, letting them nourish the higher chakras and blossom into wisdom, love, and liberation. So, dear seeker, as we open the sacred gate of Swadhisthana together, let us not see it as a place of weakness, but as the hidden wellspring of divine transformation. The Swadhisthana Chakra, dear seeker, is the second lotus of light in the subtle body, quietly resting in the lower abdomen, just beneath the navel. Babaji has often explained that this sacred center is like a hidden reservoir of water, holding within it both the sweetness of creation and the storms of uncontrolled longing. Its element is water, ever-changing, ever-shifting, never still, reminding us that human emotions and desires too are fluid, capable of nourishing or destroying depending on how we guide them. Babaji tells his disciples, the energy of Swadhisthana is the sculptor of your inner and outer world. When this chakra is unbalanced, the waters become muddy, pulling the seeker into confusion, attachment, and endless craving. One may feel ruled by moods, overwhelmed by sensual hunger, or restless in relationships. Yet when the waters are purified, this same energy becomes crystal clear, reflecting the higher light of the soul. Creativity, harmony, and the joy of sacred union flow effortlessly from within. In yogic tradition, this chakra is also called the seat of the unconscious mind, the storehouse of impressions from past lives, hidden fears, and suppressed emotions. Like a deep lake, it holds mysteries far beneath the surface. To awaken it is to stir these depths, to bring hidden forces into awareness, and to consciously direct them toward transformation. Thus, the Swadhisthana Chakra is not to be dismissed as mere sensual energy. It is the very womb of divine possibility. Just as water takes the shape of the vessel it is poured into, this chakra takes the form of your intention. If your mind seeks worldly pleasure, it will bind you. If your heart seeks the divine, it will lift you toward liberation. Many seekers, dear one, carry the belief that desire itself is a stain, a chain to be broken at any cost. Yet Babaji, in his infinite compassion, always corrects this misunderstanding. He reminds his disciples gently, desire is not your enemy. Misguided desire is your bondage. The flame itself is pure, only when it burns in the wrong direction does it cause suffering. The Swadhisthana Chakra is the seat of this flame, the birthplace of longing. It is here that the soul first awakens to the pull of experience, the urge to taste, to feel, to create, to connect. But because the human mind often mistakes shadows for the real light, this pure longing gets entangled in illusions. Desire, when clouded, clings to passing pleasures, to fleeting forms, to relationships born of need rather than love. Such desire multiplies endlessly, leaving the seeker restless, unsatisfied, and thirsty for more. Yet Babaji reveals the hidden truth. At the root of every human desire lies the same cosmic seed, the longing to merge again with the eternal. The hunger for companionship is the soul's dim memory of oneness. The thirst for beauty is the heart's echo of the divine's radiance. Even the craving for wealth or power is but a distorted shadow of the soul's remembrance of its infinite nature. Thus, desire is a teacher. When misunderstood, it drags one downward. When seen clearly, it becomes a compass pointing home. To walk the spiritual path is not to destroy desire but to refine it, to peel away its lower forms until only the purest yearning remains, the desire for truth, for love without condition, for the divine itself. This, dear seeker, is the hidden meaning of desire in the language of the soul. Dear seeker, Babaji often speaks with great tenderness about the mystery of sexual energy. He teaches, the river that creates life in the body is the very same river that can carry you to the divine. What most of humanity experiences as mere passion or desire is, in truth, the sacred current of creation itself, the vital power through which God sustains the universe. In yogic understanding, sexual energy and creative energy are not two, they are one and the same, manifesting in different forms. When this energy flows downward, it binds the soul to cycles of craving, pulling the mind again and again into the restless chase for satisfaction. The body may feel pleasure for a moment, but soon the longing returns, demanding more. Babaji warns that this endless seeking keeps the waters of Swadhisthana in turmoil, never allowing the seeker to taste the calm joy of the self. Yet, the very same energy, when guided upward through awareness, discipline, and meditation, becomes a golden stream of creativity and devotion. This is the great art of transformation, not suppression, but sublimation. To suppress energy is to dam a river until it breaks its banks. To sublimate energy is to lift the river to higher ground, where it irrigates the fields of the heart and the mind. Babaji's disciples are taught sacred practices of breath, mantra, and meditation to awaken this current and guide it toward the higher chakras. Then passion becomes prayer. Attraction turns into compassion. The restless urge of the senses blossoms into the still bliss of the spirit. Thus, sexual energy is not a burden but a hidden blessing. It is the raw material of spiritual fire, waiting to be refined into the light of liberation. Dear seeker, Babaji reminds us that the Swadhisthana Chakra is like a sacred lake. If its waters are disturbed, they become cloudy, reflecting only distorted images. But when its surface is calm and clear, it mirrors the light of the moon and stars above. In the same way, your inner balance determines whether desire binds you to the earth or carries you closer to the divine. To bring harmony to this center, Babaji gently guides seekers through simple but profound disciplines. First, he speaks of awareness in relationships. Let every connection be rooted not in need or control, but in respect and purity. When love becomes an offering, rather than a demand, the waters of Swadhisthana grow still. Second, Babaji encourages creative expression. This chakra blooms when energy is given form in art, music, poetry, or sacred service. When your inner current finds a noble outlet, it ceases to overflow into restless cravings. Creativity becomes prayer in action. Third, he points to the power of sacred discipline, the practices of yoga, pranayam, mantra, and meditation. These are the tools by which the restless waters are stilled, and the raw currents of desire are lifted upward into the higher chakras. And finally, Babaji emphasizes self-honesty. Many hide from their own emotions, suppressing them in fear or shame. But the yogi learns to observe them with calm awareness, offering them silently at the altar of the divine. In this surrender, impurity dissolves, and purity arises. Thus, balancing Swadhisthana is not about rejection or denial, but about refinement. When cared for with love, this chakra becomes a radiant lotus, opening its petals to receive higher light. Its waters no longer drown, they nourish the seeker's path toward liberation. Dear seeker, Babaji reveals to his disciples a great hidden truth. Behind every human desire, whether small or great, there breathes the soul's silent longing for the infinite. What you call attraction, what you call hunger, what you call yearning, is in fact the eternal pull of the spirit toward its source. Desire, in its essence, is not a chain but a messenger, a whisper from the divine reminding you of your forgotten home. Consider this carefully. The craving for companionship is not merely for another body or mind, it is the soul's dim memory of oneness with all beings. The thirst for beauty, in a face, in a flower, in a sunset, is the heart recognizing fragments of the divine's own radiance scattered in creation. Even the restless desire for wealth or power is but a distorted shadow of the soul's remembrance of its infinite abundance and sovereignty in God. Babaji teaches that the error lies not in desiring, but in misplacing the object of desire. When the seeker clings to the outer forms, he remains thirsty, for forms fade and pleasures vanish. But when he looks deeper, he discovers that every desire is a doorway leading back to the one pure desire, the longing to merge in the eternal. This realization is the great turning point of the yogic path. The seeker no longer battles with desire, nor does he fall slave to it. Instead, he bows to its higher truth, allowing it to lift him beyond restlessness into devotion. Pure desire becomes worship, longing becomes meditation, and every heartbeat becomes a call to God. Thus, Babaji assures us, when all lesser desires dissolve, only one remains, the soul's sacred thirst for union with the infinite. Dear seeker, Babaji always reminds his disciples that the path of yoga is not to deny or abandon the lower centers, but to refine and uplift them. The Swadhisthana Chakra, though rooted in desire and emotion, is not a barrier but a gateway. When understood rightly, it becomes the bridge that carries energy upward toward the higher lotuses of the heart, throat, and crown. Babaji teaches, the same current that ties you to the senses can, when lifted, reveal your oneness with the stars. Just as a river flows from the mountain to the ocean, so too must the energy of Swadhisthana rise from the depths of longing into the vastness of devotion. Through breath, mantra, and meditative awareness, the seeker learns to guide this current upward, transforming its vibration as it ascends. When the waters of Swadhisthana touch the heart, desire becomes love without condition. When they touch the throat, longing becomes sacred expression, prayer, and mantra. When they touch the brow, passion becomes vision and wisdom. And when finally they dissolve in the crown, all desires merge into the one blissful union with the eternal self. Babaji explains that this is the true alchemy of yoga, not the rejection of energy, but its transmutation. What was once restlessness becomes serenity. What was once hunger becomes fulfillment. What was once the pull of the senses becomes the upward flight of the soul. Therefore, dear one, do not see Swadhisthana as a weakness to be feared. See it as a sacred fire to be tended. Let its waters rise, let its lotus bloom, and let its energy lift you from human longing into divine realization. This is the higher awakening that Babaji blesses every sincere seeker to discover. Dear seeker, as we bring this reflection to a close, let us return to Babaji's eternal reminder. The energy that creates bondage is the very same energy that creates freedom. Learn to turn it upward, and you shall know liberation. Desire is not your enemy. It is the forgotten compass of the soul, pointing you ever toward the infinite. When you recognize this truth, every craving becomes a call to remembrance, every longing a doorway to God, every moment of restlessness an invitation to rise higher. Sit quietly with this teaching. Look into your own heart and ask, am I allowing the river of my energy to flow downward into restlessness, or am I guiding it upward into peace, love, and light? In this simple self-inquiry lies the seed of transformation. Babaji blesses each seeker who walks with sincerity, reminding us that no effort is ever wasted. Each breath, each moment of awareness, carries you closer to your own divine essence. So, dear one, carry these words not as mere knowledge, but as a living practice. Let your desires be purified, your creativity be uplifted, and your heart be filled with devotion. In this way, the Swadhisthana Chakra becomes not a prison of longing but a fountain of joy, flowing endlessly toward liberation. If this message has touched you, share in the comments what you felt, or how you are learning to guide your energy upward. Your reflections may inspire another seeker on their journey. Until we meet again in the next discourse, walk gently, live consciously, and remember always that the divine dwells within you. With folded hands and a heart full of blessings, I leave you with the ancient greeting of reverence and love. Jai Guru Dev.